What's up everyone, I'm back again with another video, and as you can see in the title, today I will be engaging in a topic that we are all pretty much familiar with which is depression. My name is Zizipo Khupushe, and let's get into the topic. Okay, so in this video I will be explaining two places that depression can find you in. The first one is that depression can find you in Christ, and the second one is that depression can find you without Christ. So what does that mean? Okay, depression in Christ means that depression can find you in a place whereby you are a Christian. You're a Christian. You go to church every Sunday in Christ, right? In Christ, you're a Christian. You go to church every Sunday, and you have a personal relationship with God, a good relationship with God, and you've had and you keep having personal encounters with God. So when I said you can have or depression can find you in a place whereby you're without Christ, I mean that you can be a Christian, you Christian, I mean that you're a Christian, you go to church every Sunday, but you don't have a relationship with God. You don't have a good relationship with Christ, and you've never had personal encounters with Christ. You hear of him at church, and you read about him um, in the Bible. You just hear about him, but you've never really had an experience of your own of him. Whew, yeah, so put that aside. Now, depression without Christ is very dangerous. It is very dangerous. Depression without Christ, this is what happens. When you have depression without Christ, number one, you have endless suicidal thoughts. Every bad situation that happens around you contributes more to the depression, and you become a pointless, like a hopeless, not pointless, sorry, you become a hopeless person. Like everything, you do not have hope of anything. You just become hopeless. So like I said that in my videos, when I motivate you in these videos, I'm motivating you based on my past experiences. So I'm not talking about something that I haven't been through. I motivate based on the things that I've also been through, because I know more of that because I've been through it. Okay, so to add more on depression with, because I've been depressed with Christ and without Christ. I mean, I've been depressed in Christ and I've been depressed without Christ. So without me, my depression without Christ happened like this. So it happened, it was a long time ago, way back. Way back. Thing is, at that time when I had that depression, I was I like everything was just pointless. I thought that life was pointless. I thought life was futile. I thought that um, that there's no point for me to be on earth, and if I would just eliminate myself on this earth, it would be like one problem and no one would care. So it was so bad. But I never really thought of initiating. So I think if I stayed depressed without Christ, I would have found ways to eliminate myself, because I never really did think of initiating killing myself. Well, even though I had suicidal thoughts, but I was too much of a coward that I wouldn't, like, I thought of drinking pills and doing these other things that people do to kill themselves, but I never really, I was too much of a coward to actually do them. I would think of them, but I wouldn't do them. Yeah, it was so bad, guys. It was so bad. I also like thought of just disappearing and just run away and you go somewhere and you just starve and you end up dying. But there was this other time. It was so hilarious. So hilarious. I was actually traveling to school, and while we were traveling, I think this taxi was speeding, and we nearly were in a car accident. But the thing is that you see, while we were approaching the incident, like incident that could have happened, inside of me was like, what? This could be an opportunity for me to actually die. Oh God, God is actually doing this. It was so, my goodness, I'm so crazy, like really. I was like, yes, this could be the day. Actually, I could just die today. Like, yes. So I actually wanted people to, you know, I wanted it to be like a coincidence. Yeah, boom, smash, dead. Yeah, that I did not kill myself and just, just happened to just die. Yes! It was, my goodness. Oh, like really? Who does that? But learn from those things. And I've also been depressed. Depressed with, sorry, I've been depressed in Christ. So the difference between the two is that in my depression in Christ, even though I was down and out, like I was so like down and out. I had no hope. I was just, it's like, oh my goodness, like so dark. I don't understand what's going on. Like, can this just, oh my goodness, like, can I die now? Like, please, God. But in the midst of that, I knew that God is with me. I felt His presence, and His messages kept on, repeating in my head. His promises kept on repeating in my head. And in that moment, God tells us that we should not be afraid, and everything is going to be fine. We must not be afraid. We must not be afraid. We must trust Him. So you see the difference between the two, and the significance of depression in Christ is that we always look back and be like, my God was with me. God was with me emotionally, mentally, spiritually, when no one else could understand me, when no one else was there, when no one else, there was like no one else. God was there. God was there. God was there. And it's so amazing that you look back and be like, wow, God was with me. And that actually helps you to, like, no matter what happens afterwards, you like, you know what, I don't care what people are saying. I know God is real. I know God is real. I know God is real, bro. I know God is real. I know God is living. God is alive. God is my redeemer. God, because eh, people can shift you from your beliefs, um, can try to shift you from your beliefs. Like, they tell you things and they speak of such and such, and sometimes it'll, like, if your relationship with God is not that strong, it is easy for you to believe those people, because they become so persuasive. And sometimes they come up with stories and you end up believing it. So yeah, you will end up believing it. But if you like have history with God, you've had encounters, you're like, dude, whatever you say, whatever you say. I do not believe that, because I know that my God is real. I know that my God, through those times, through the things that you've been through, how God has touched you in those moments, you be like, I do not believe a single word that you're saying. You are a liar. You are a liar. You are a liar. So that it makes you firm in your in your in your in your in your belief. It makes you be like, no, so they can't shift you, they can't move you, they can't move you. You are not shaken by what they say. You're like, no, my God, because of this and that, God has done this and that for me. You cannot say that. I do not believe that. You will not make me believe otherwise. Yeah. So I hope that actually, I pray that God, I pray that God, I pray that if ever depression finds you, it finds you in Christ. And remember, God is love, and love is God. Thank you.